My name is Vincent, and this full guide is going to take you from being the average guy who puts everything off to the last minute to the man who immediately takes action and does the hard work regardless of how he feels. I'm going to walk you through step by step of understanding what discipline is, how to have discipline at work or school or in the gym, how to be disciplined with your diet, how to wake up early, and how to continue growing your discipline once you've built the foundation and reached a certain level where maybe you think that you can't level it up anymore. So the first thing is to understand what discipline is. Discipline is a term thrown around so loosely nowadays that I don't think most people actually know what discipline means. Most people think that discipline is going to the gym or studying or working hard, but discipline isn't doing something hard. It's doing something you do not want to do. So you've probably heard people talk about motivation versus discipline. Well, I'm going to throw willpower in there as well and break down the difference between each term for you right now. Motivation is the desire to do something. Discipline is being persistent and doing it regardless of how you feel. And willpower is resisting that desire to do something even when you really want to do it. And don't get me wrong, motivation is great to have, but it comes and goes. Some days I'll wake up and I'll be super motivated to go train, and other days, like this morning, I wasn't. But on the days that I'm not, I will use my discipline to go anyway, even though I didn't feel like doing it. And then later that night, I might use my willpower, for example, to not eat the junk food, even though I felt like doing it. So motivation comes and goes, but discipline and willpower are character traits that we can build inside of us. And honestly, bro, as a side note, it has never been easier to win because the bar of excellence is lower than it has ever been before. Less than 1 in 10 men nowadays have a six-pack. So just by having a six-pack, you are in the top 10% of men on the planet because the other 90% are chasing instant gratification. They're the ones jumping on the newest business model because they want the fastest way to make $1,000 online. Or they watch porn because they feel lonely and they don't want to take the time that it takes in order to learn how to articulate their words in a way that's attractive and persuasive to women, or build a body that women find attractive. Or they play video games because they want status and brotherhood, and they spend all this time leveling up their character in a virtual world instead of doing it in the real world where it matters. All of these things you just heard, yes, it was explaining over 90% of men today, but it was actually explaining the younger version of me. Now, don't think this is going to be some grand event that's going to click and immediately change everything for you. It's going to take time. And to be honest with you, I'm years into this journey and I still struggle with discipline. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. My alarm went off at 5 o'clock this morning and I sat there and stared at the ceiling for about 20 minutes before I got up because it was just one of those days that I couldn't be asked. But eventually I got up and got my training in. But that's just life, and that's why you're here, because you want to learn how to build that discipline for yourself so that on those days where getting out of bed is the last thing that you want to do, you're going to do it anyway because you know that you'll be sacrificing your future self's happiness and success for the pleasure of the present moment, and you'll be wondering why 6 to 12 months down the road, why you haven't accomplished any of your goals. And it's because you lack the discipline that is required to achieve them. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-love for your future self. And even though being disciplined feels hard in the moment, it's so much more painful to not be disciplined in the long run because of the life that will come as a result of it.